So it's almost been 2 weeks since Season 10 started, and we've had plenty of time to play the two reworked heroes, and of course the new hero, the Hitokiri. And a while ago, I had given you guys my first impressions on each hero. In short, I said that Hitokiri is alright, Lawbringer is alright, and Raider is the strongest of the three. I also mentioned that I would return the console just so that I could experience Raider over there as well. So now that I've done that and have played plenty of Raider, I wanted to talk about him and give you all my thoughts on this current version of Raider. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. So I do want to come out and say that I don't think that Raider is 100% absolutely busted and needs to be reworked again. But I do think that he's a bit too strong in certain places. I still think that at this moment, Raider is one of the best heroes in the game in both duels and Dominion, and I run into Raider in at least 80% of my matches if I'm playing fours, and I think that even when this new season hype dies down even more, Raider will continue to be a hero that's picked pretty regularly. Right now, Raider has not only a strong offense, but a pretty solid defense on top of that, and they're running around everywhere. I've gotten a tad used to fighting against them, and I'm not having as much trouble as I did at first now that I know what Raider can do and have gotten used to dealing with the stunning tap and whatnot, but I can still see Raider being patched up. Raider is just a complete package. I mean, he can do just about anything. He can duel and hold his own in 1v1. He's a good team fighter with the 50 damage combo zone and armored 40 damage heavies, both of which can be target swapped and landed pretty regularly. His stunning tap is useful in team fights as well for poking opponents out of attacks. He has the 500 millisecond light attacks, the new stunning tap, high damage across the board. He still has dodge guard break and a really solid set of feats. It looks like the majority of this community feels that Raider is either a bit too strong or too powerful, with only about 15% believing he's perfect the way he is. There are times when I feel that the community overreacts to a few things, but right now I don't think everyone is overreacting here, especially a few console players. Again, I don't think that he's busted. I just think that there are parts of his kit that need to be toned down a bit. And after that's done, I believe Raider will be a good hero and people won't have as many issues with him. It seems like right now, a ton of the talk is on the stunning tap, which is understandable as it works a bit differently now and feels pretty fast. I think if Ubi adjusts anything on Raider, it will be the stunning tap, just because it's a single attack that does so much. Not only is it pretty strong for a light attack at 18 damage, but it sets your stamina to 20 every time you get hit and stuns you for a bit. And on top of this, it allows Raider to continue his chain into either a light, a hyper armor heavy, or a 50 damage zone, both of which, the heavy and zone, can be feinted into a guard break or another stunning tap. If I had to take a guess, I think that they'll drop the damage a bit on the stunning tap to around 15 and then reduce the stamina reduction or change how it works so that it removes a set value of stamina rather than always setting you to 20. I don't think they'll touch the stun, as that's sort of the point of the attack, but I don't think anyone will be opposed to either of those changes. I don't think it really needs to be slowed down or anything, as when it was slow, it was pretty easy to parry. I do think the animations do lend into making them seem faster. Some of the animations are really strange, and to me, it looks like things were just sped up without doing anything to the animations. I could be wrong on that, but right now, if Raider is turning his body to do a heavy and feints it into a stunning tap, he just sort of snaps into place. And I don't really have too much of a problem with that most of the time, other than it looking silly. But when you're stunned, it feels like it makes the tap a bit tougher to react to without any indicators. I have zero problem with the sped up lights, no problem at all. I have gotten smacked by a few 3 light chains, but they're not that bad. They're just regular old 500 millisecond lights with nothing special about them. If you're being light spammed to death by a Raider right now, you've probably been getting light spammed to death by other heroes with 500 millisecond light attacks. At least with Raider's lights, you don't have to worry about chain top lights. At first I was wondering why Lawbringer got the enhanced lights instead of Raider, but now that we've had plenty of time to play with them, I realized that it would be a terrible idea to give Enhanced Lights to Raider and would just make him more powerful. I like where his light attacks are right now. Before they weren't all too useful, but now they're fast enough to not get parried as often. Now, as for playing on console versus PC, as expected, dealing with Raider on PC is much less frustrating as you can see more of the animation and you don't have to deal with all that delay. Also on PC, you have the added bonus of being able to turn anti-aliasing off to make the stun effect less harsh. No one really knows why this works, but it does, and if you're really bothered by the stun, you should give it a shot. Of course, console play was much more aggressive, and it wasn't all too terrible to play, but I was getting clapped by a few Raiders. I didn't play for that long. I played for about 5-6 hours just to follow through with what I said. I got hit by a few 3 light chains that felt really fast, and I felt like I was getting hit by things that I swore I reacted to. I do see where you guys are coming from though, as this game gets inevitably faster and faster with defense requiring reads rather than reaction. I think the game will be a bit better on PC, but may feel worse on console, if that makes any sense. Especially if you've been playing since launch or have been playing for a long time and like the slower style of play. I'm not really opposed to any change that comes our way as long as they're fun to play. When I fought against Raider though, with a high ping, I just accepted my death. I don't think playing against Raider is an instant loss in any game mode, whether it's Breach, Dominion, or Duel. He can certainly be beaten. It's just harder than it was before. The delay was getting pretty annoying on console though. As I said, it felt like I was just getting hit by things that I swore I reacted to. And when I was blinded, I just had to guess and hope I didn't get hit by anything else as the animations are just so awkward, but even more so with less frames. I still don't see myself going back to console just because I've gotten used to playing on PC and it just feels a lot smoother. Anyways, before the rework, during the reveal and whatnot, I thought the damage buffs would be awesome, but now that he's here, I'm not really sure that he needed all of them. He does a ton of damage now and can take a large chunk of his opponent's health pretty quickly. I think it just adds on to his pressure as making a mistake now costs you a lot of health. Currently, if you do the wrong thing, you can eat a lot of damage, get stunned, or get guard broken and deal with wherever that leads you. I think that a reduction in damage would be fine for Raider right now. Now, after the removal of Shugoki Hyper Armor and Shove on Block being scrapped, I was sure that Dodge Guard Break would be the next to go just because it's really good, but it's still here, and I'm guessing it's to keep the whole stamina bully thing going on and keep one of the unique things that Raider has. Now, me personally, I wouldn't mind if Dodge GB was removed on side dodges. I do like it on forward dodges though. It's just a flat out good tool. Not only can you grab someone during their recoveries and whatnot, but you can also counter guard break with it too, which makes mix-ups that involve a guard break much less threatening to Raider. So I wouldn't be all too upset if it was just completely removed, but if they're going to keep it, I'd love to see it on forward dodges. And the last thing I want to talk about really fast is his Stampede charge. It was a good change. Making it interruptible was a necessity, and I think it does what it needs to do. It's not an instant kill anymore. It's just a good tool to swoop in and drag someone out of the fight, or set your teammate up with some free damage. It is a bit annoying when there are like 3 Raiders on the opposing team and you've got 2 on you throwing unblockables and stun taps at you, while the last is just sprinting around ready to grab you, but when there's just 1 Raider, it's not all that bad. Overall, I think Raider is a bit too strong right now, but I don't think he's unbeatable and just completely busted. He just has a few things that could be adjusted and he'll be fine. I don't think he needs these huge harsh nerfs or anything. Now, we have no idea if or when Raider will receive any sort of work now. Hopefully in a few days here we might hear something about Raider's future, as right now there are more people talking about Raider than the Hitokiri. If nothing happens and Raider stays as is, I don't think many people will be too happy about that, but I do hold out hope that something will happen. I think that if everyone was as strong as Raider, there wouldn't be as much pushback, as better offense is something that we all want. It's the reason that we ask for reworks in the first place. It's not to buff their defense or anything, it's just to improve upon their offense. And I think that UB did come close to getting it right with Raider. They just overstepped on a few things. One last thing, I get it if you don't want to use a hero because they're too strong or anything like that, but don't let anyone tell you not to use a character because they don't like fighting against them. If someone has no respect for fighting against a certain character, cool, to each their own. But if you've been playing Raider for a long time or just like him as a hero, you know, for his looks and style, then use Raider. It's not your fault, he is the way he is. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. I just wanted to talk about Raider and only Raider in a video now that we've had time to play with and against him. As usual though, I do want to hear what you guys think, so talk to me down in the comments about anything we talked about in this video. And as always, if you liked the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.